that rose skin that they stole from us. Oh, I'm getting the call.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Leonard. It's been quite a while since we've been on, but we are back again and we are ready to do it. I'm here today with the one and only Zyx, as you do. How are you going, mate?
Pretty good. What about you, Tom?
I'm doing quite swell. I'm getting to the age now where I don't think I should be on this game anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I've got that existential crisis going on right now, but hey, anything for the show, I guess. If you've read the title today, you'll see that we are focusing on something that really doesn't pertain to us at all, but because we are a boring state, this is, I guess, what's intriguing right now. And that is the war that's currently ongoing between Ridgeway and Firestone. That's all I got. Wait, where's Bo?
I'm here. I'm on the way.
Oh, but
Get in
Bo
the
was saying we've
newsroom.
actually got him via wireless telephone or something. I don't know how we've got him, but
Don't worry,
Got
I'm
him.
coming
He's
in
fucking-
person.
We got two tin
Um,
cans and a string. It's all right.
have we got any
Talk something like
idea
that.
as to how this war began by any chance?
So, in regards to the war starting, both legislative bodies kind of caught on to each other's mishaps. It was more Firestone starting it because their legislative bodies started saying they were going to sanction a bunch of row states, that being Ridgeway. And at that point, our legislative body decided we weren't going to have that and took those as terms of hostility and reacted accordingly with, our own declaration of war.
Yeah, right. There's been talk. There's been some talk in the studio just a bit ago about this war possibly coming to an end as of recently. Is this confirmed, or is this just more false claims?
So, from what I believe, actually, the war just ended on Ridgeway's part as of like 10 minutes ago.
Right. Okay. So we've just hopped on the hype train a bit too late, it appears. But hey, as the news does, we'll talk about it for another 3 weeks.
Hey!
Important.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I probably should have mentioned this before. Bo Bazinga is actually part of the Ridgeway National Guard, one of the states involved in the war, and the one that I'm being told now has just, I was going to say back down the war, but wording. As well as you're the,
Current Major General.
yeah, right. Okay. So we are going to invite callers now to come on and ask any questions.
Oh, we had this guy waiting in
they-
here for a little while.
Yeah, that may pertain to our man Bo over here. So, if without further ado, Bo, we might get those people coming on. So, get our first caller on it.
Make sure you're watching
first
Stanley's
caller.
stream.
Mr.
Oh, look at the stream. Okay.
Mr. Real Wreck Master. How you going, mate?
I'm alright. Got out of bed for this, so.
Oh, good. Well, good to know we've.
Good to hear.
Oh yeah, where are you calling from, sir?
Plymouth.
Oh, good. You're one of those people. Have you got any questions for Bo Bazinga on the line right now? Part of the Ridgeway National Guard.
Yes, the big question is, how did this start or even happen in the first place?
So, like I said a little bit earlier, the Firestone legislative body, from what I know, ended up placing and threatening war and sanctions on other row states, one of them being, Ridgeway. So we ended up retaliating with, a declaration of war because those were hostilities towards us. And on top of that, Vancouver and Firestone both retaliated with their own declarations of war against Ridgeway. So the war ended up taking off from there.
Right. Caller, did you have any other questions
I
for Bo?
had something I was gonna say. Just fucking see if I can bring it back out. Oh yeah, what were like the sanctions? Was there like anything like that was like considered to be like, way too like aggressive?
I don't actually know what the sanctions were for. I just shoot the guns.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sorry, we just had a few shots shot up. Still going. I just love how, this always happens as we start streaming. It's like in the first 5 minutes we have some.
Well, you know what? It doesn't affect us because we got the reinforced glass or whatever. So
Very true. Shout out to the people that worked on the building.
it only affects the people who are just
real
fucking
shout.
climbing our
Crackers.
windows.
Deserved. Might as
I built the
well,
windows,
thank
by the
you
way.
for
Me and
hopping on
Clerk.
today. We appreciate your question. Thanks for not just immediately playing Vine Boom sound effects. And yeah, we'll make sure to keep you as one of our returning callers in case we ever need you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Oh, okay. I need to really work on how I communicate because that was.
Sorry, man, it's late. Or actually, I don't know if it's late for you, but it's late for me.
Okay, so Bo, about the still going about the continuing on the war now. Was there any major events that occurred in either state that how do I put this? Was there anything during the war where there was like confrontations in one or another state?
Well, the Ridgeway National Guard actually earlier today ended up invading Firestone, and
Right.
just by our sheer might, we actually crashed their server when we all deployed to their state
Was
because
that,
we're just built different, you know.
yeah, was that your plan initially, or did it just kind
Oh
of?
no, definitely not. I think we just flooded so many guardsmen into their game that their game couldn't handle it because at one
Yeah,
point
right.
they had 103 players in one server and their server size is 70.
Hmm.
So we don't know how that happened, but their game ended up crashing.
Very
And
fun.
the whole invasion was quite laggy.
Yeah,
A win's a win.
A win is a win.
yeah. We got another person on the line now that would like to hop into the phone booth. We've got Mr. Gag Snap 2. Good morning or good afternoon, mate. How are you? Only appears he's got his telephone muted. Very much
Okay.
helps the situation. So we might just put him back in the hold line until he unmutes.
You got anybody else?
No, he's just kind of waiting there right now.
know what? He can take his time.
He can take his time. Unmute the mic because it is a build.
Oh, Sticks
okay,
is
we've got
making a
someone on the
call.
line now. Mr. Sticks is on the line. How you going, Stickser?
Can you hear me? Am I understandable?
You are
You are.
very understandable. How are you,
wonderful.
Stick?
That is just wonderful. My question is, earlier today I was on ground zero. I was in the midst of the fight. It was really, I just for lack of better words, it was very frightening. At one point I saw a citizen being slammed against the well, he was a tourist actually. I believe he had something to do with Firestone. Anyhow, he was being slammed against his car because he did not pledge to Ridgeway, and I just wanted to know the thoughts on that from the general.
You said you saw civilians being slammed against cars because they were
Oh,
not
they were-
pledging
yeah.
to Ridgeway?
Yeah,
As
it was-
far
it
as
was
my
horrifying.
understanding, the only interactions with the National Guard were done on Firestone citizens.
It was yes. It was not the National Guard. It was a state police, I believe. They were slamming people against the cars, and it was comedy. It was entertaining. But I just didn't know if you had any thoughts on that because I understand they might be traitors, but slamming their heads against their cars, that's a little extreme, handcuffing them.
Yeah, so,
detaining them.
I did my absolute best to try and avoid any civilian casualties from the National Guard's actions. I can't speak on behalf of any of the other departments because obviously I'm not in charge of them.
That's all right. I appreciate it. And thank you for your service, obviously.
No problem.
All right. Well, thank you to that caller for coming in. So yeah, I guess that's the current stance right now. It's that
Now we just have an insane amount of callers, but
do we?
we
Oh,
have
good lord. Oh,
Evan.
David's
We
here.
should take ZCAG. Let's take ZCAG. David is here. Okay.
All right. Who have we got on the line now, Zoe?
Let's take ZCAG.
Oh, okay. Good morning, Zeke, or good afternoon. How you going?
Oh, what's up, guys? What's up, guys?
How you
got
doing
any
today, man?
questions for our?
I'm doing
You got
good.
any
I'm doing
questions
good.
for
How
Bob
about
Zeke?
yourself?
I'm doing really good.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear, man.
You got any questions for Major
You got any
General
questions for
Ridgway?
Bob Zinga, or
Oh,
is this
yeah,
just
Ridgway
going to
I have
National
a lot of-
Guard, Major General.
I have a lot of questions.
Take a
Okay,
couple of them.
Okay, so my first question is, I've been watching the news recently. I'm seeing you guys pummeling on a lot of black people. I don't really like that.
That's valid, bro. Get him back. That's a valid complaint.
Yeah, I plead the fifth on that one.
Okay.
are we taking
Yeah,
another
maybe
caller
we
after
should get
that?
David in here next.
All right. We'd like to invite Mr. You may recognize this guy from even the OG Mayflower. I certainly do. We got Mr. David.
Dude,
Oh,
Well,
Sorry, we've got David Devil on the phone right now. How you going, man?
what's up, Senator David?
Hi. Oh, it's been a very interesting pastime. Who do we got here? Is Boba Zinga here?
Mm-hmm. That's me.
No, Boba Zinga, you led our troops to an astounding victory against the
Thank you.
menace known as Firestone, right? We crippled their institutions, decimated their government. I'm going to ask you, how much more war can this guard do?
All of it.
We need more war? Tell me.
We can handle any war that comes our way.
Now, in our surplus, our quartermasters, do we have snow camouflage? Are we ready for a war up north in Canada?
I am sure our quartermasters could hastily provide camouflages ready for any environment.
That's good. That's good. Can you also tell me what your thoughts were on today as we absolutely curb stomped the invaders from Firestone? Tell me what you were thinking.
Well, honestly, when we first deployed to Firestone, I was a little questionable on how it would go, considering, like I said earlier in the questioning, we crashed a server within like 2 minutes of joining the game. But overall, I think I was pretty excited that we were functionally deploying and invading their soil and conquering them, considering the laggy circumstances. So overall,
I
pretty
think
hype.
That's good. And I think there's more to come. But do you have anything to say to the people of Ridgeway, which you protected today from this conquering imperialist menace?
Honestly, to all the Ridgewayan citizens, I'm glad I could serve them and keep them safe. And to all the Firestonians, sorry you guys got caught in the crossfire. Sorry, not sorry. You know how it is.
And then I think my last thing is that I'll announce to everyone is that the Senate awarded Adjutant General Boba Zinga the Medal of Public Service, I believe it is called, and that there will be a huge celebration in the days to come. So thank you for your service, General. I'm going to hang your photo up in my office. Thank you. Of
Thank you, Senator.
course.
All right, thank you
Bye-bye.
very much for the call. See ya. All right. We have quite a few calls we should probably just run through. We'll get. We have the governor of Ridgeway.
oh yeah.
Oh well, let's get him in here then.
Good evening.
All right. Hello, Large Titanic. How are you, mate?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good to hear. So we've just been talking with Boba Zinga just now regarding the war, and we've been told about 15 or 20 minutes ago that you guys have gotten out of this war now. Is that true?
It is true.
Yeah.
The Senate voted I'm not exactly sure of the time, but it was less than an hour ago to officially end hostilities.
Yeah, right. And as governor of one of the states that were involved in the war, I'm sure this has been a very heavy toll on you, and how your office has performed as of lately.
I would say that we've certainly stepped outside of our comfort zone for this. That's the terms that I've been using, because to be quite honest, this is not a thing that state groups tend to do. I mean,
True.
I mean, I know that Mayflower in its previous generation, previous to the one that it's in now, did have war, but I know that it's definitely not a common thing, so this is new. This is something that Ridgeway is setting a precedent that this is possible, this is doable, this is something that we can do. And I will tell you that this is not the last time it's going to happen.
Right, and why do you say that?
Because it was too much fun not to do again.
Right.
To be completely honest, it was way too much fun not to do again. We're going to do it again for sure.
Right.
I want
And,
to also say that we left this war great friends with Firestone, even though we did vanquish them completely. We did destroy them without any shadow of a doubt. We have vanquished their military, but we left this war great friends with them, and I think that Governor Chloe would echo that if she was
Right.
given the chance to.
Okay.
But it's been an absolutely enlightening experience. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Right. And do you believe that were your civilians how were your civilians feeling during this war? Like when it came to looking up to the government and seeing how they were performing in a war like this? How was their reaction to it?
That's an interesting question. What I would say is I think that the initial reaction of the public had to be uncertainty at first, but I believe that it was very quickly turned into strong support. And I think that was almost immediate strong support, because it was sort of a calling to action for the entire group that we desperately needed. And in my opinion, so did Firestone. In my opinion, so does Mayflower to some extent. It's a unifying effort that we all get together and we have one goal as an entire community, which is almost never the case. So it's you asked earlier, you were talking to me earlier about whether or not it was a toll on my office, and it absolutely was, because this is not something that Ridgeway has ever done before. It was totally new. We had no idea of our footing. Ridgeway is extremely young. We are only 3 years old. We are only 3 years old, and we are still trying to find our footing in, I say internationally, but it isn't exactly, that's not exactly accurate. Interstate, I would say. We're still trying to find our footing there, and we had just begun relations with Firestone. We had just begun relations with Mayflower. Like I've been developing quite a lot my relationship with Governor Ghost of Mayflower. We've been talking quite a lot. But that's all very new. We just begun those relationships, we just begun those discussions, and now all of a sudden our legislature is declaring war on Firestone.
Yeah.
So, and that's a power of the legislature. There's nothing the executive can do about that. We have to do it. So that declaration happened, and now we have to respond. We have to formulate a war plan that we didn't have before. We have to manage foreign relations. It was the first time we fully activated the State Security Council.
Yeah.
It's just this full. It was stressful, but oh my god, I would do it twice. I would do it 15 times.
Yeah, right. I have one more question for you, if you don't mind taking that. We were just wondering whether we'd be able to take some calls after this as well, because we know we've got quite a few in the queue. So you were talking about before, when it came to ending this war now with Firestone, how you would consider you guys good friends in a way.
Yes.
Do you feel that if you were to go to war again with a state like Firestone, this is just off speculation here, but if you are friends with them per se, how exactly do you reckon that would fizzle out?
Well, we have a different philosophy on war. It isn't, I don't know, and this is part of the reason why it created such a large controversy when we actually did go into this. We have a different philosophy. And the philosophy that we have isn't going to war for the purposes of destroying someone else's community. That was never the goal. It is mutual activity and dedication and just bringing out the best in everybody, because we all set a goal and we all go out and do it, and we get to interact with tons of new people. And though they get to interact with us, it's just been... We have a different... Your question is, if we were to go to war with another state that with whom we were friends. Like for example, if we decided to do it with Mayflower or whatever, we're friends with Mayflower. It would be a thing where there's mutual respect. It would be, well, we're going to do this, but both of us are going to come out of it just fine. No one's going to be hurt. It's just because it isn't about hurting people, you know.
And I just thought of something now, which I found very fascinating. You're talking about you go to war again in a heartbeat with, not necessarily a country like Firestone, really any state. And just about your civilians again, how do you think they'd feel hearing something like that about their governor want to go to war?
I think that they would strongly support it. Ridgeway's populace loved the war. They loved it. It was so much fun for everybody. It was just I'll tell you this, it's been quite a long time since I've had to wait more than 5 minutes to get in my own game. And all of the times that's happened, it was because of this. So my response to anybody in opposition to it would be, why would we turn away? Why would we turn that away? You know, why would we look at that and decide, no, we don't want that, you know?
So you think it kind of helps the tourism in a way?
Absolutely it does. For both sides. That's the whole point. Because it's but we can't do it by always having an agreement before we start. You know what I mean? Because if we were to do that, it takes away the spontaneity of the situation. To some extent, it has to cause problems.
Right.
It has to. Otherwise, it doesn't work, you know?
Right.
So I don't know if R-Span or Rospan had the chance to take a look at how my administration was reacting when this first came out, but we largely kept our mouth shut. We largely were like, well, we were looking for war, but just not this way. That's what I was saying at the time, you know.
Right.
But looking back on it, had I planned it out in advance, it wouldn't have been near as fun. Not near as fun, you know.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks for answering my questions, Lex. Did you have any questions for Governor?
I don't think I do, but I think we should take some callers that might have some questions for him or the Major General for sure.
Great idea. All right. Well, Lodge, we'll chuck you over to the phone calls now, and apologies in advance if we do get some what would we call it? Troll calls? I don't know. I sound like I'm 40 saying something like that, but it's I don't know. Yeah, make sure to watch Stan's screen share to hear some of the lovely calls we've got coming in. Let's begin top to bottom here. We've got 306 Cookie coming in, a concerned citizen. How you going, mate?
Okay.
What's
I think
up,
I was
man?
meant to read the latter part of that. Cookie, did you have any questions for Governor Large Titanic?
Yeah. So I was just, just watching the conversation you had with the governor, and I was just very curious on why it's such a why are you so frequent to talk about how it was so much fun for the people of Ridgeway when the National Guard was firing millions of missiles on your own land.
Allegedly, thank you.
And
well, I think that I have to disappoint you here. I have no comment on whether or not we fired missiles onto anyone. I have no comment on that. I decline to answer whether or not we fired missiles upon our own territory.
I just think it's a little concerning why
I would agree.
Like a psychopath.
I would agree.
When Chum asked if it was good for tourism, you said, yes, absolutely.
It is, though. Who doesn't want to be blown up when you visit our state? Honestly, I mean, I think this is a major positive. Who wouldn't want to be destroyed by a nuclear missile? I mean, I think this is great.
It never happened. That's a lie.
I also want to argue how you said Ridgeway and Firestone left as great relations.
We did.
But
we did.
Ridgeway claims that they won, and Firestone claims that they won.
Yep.
So I don't see this agreement or mutual respect.
Well, number one, we just signed a peace treaty. Number two, the State Department's treaty to establish a multi-state organization is continuing to go through. Number three, I remain great friends with the governor of Firestone. We talked throughout the situation, making sure that we both understood what was going on. It's 100% true that we left as great friends, and we're going to continue to explore how, just like we are with Mayflower. I mean, we're great friends with Mayflower as well. There's no reason not to be. We can all succeed better when we do it together. All of us.
Didn't you say that you had great like relations with Firestone before the war? So are you trying to hit something?
Not really. I would say that our relations with Firestone before the war were very new. We had just started talking to them. Really, we hadn't established relationships with them at all. So I think that this war sort of forced us together in a certain sense, and we had to figure it out. You know what I mean? We had to sort of, size each other up and figure out exactly what we were going to do and whether or not we were going to be friends.
So getting the community together and getting like tourism up is sending your entire military to kill the innocent civilians of Firestone. And
whoa,
allegedly.
I'll take that one. We never targeted a single civilian in the state of Firestone. We did not target one civilian.
All right. I'd like to interrupt here now for a moment. I would like to, I'd just like to bring something up real quick. You were just talking about how you didn't mean to harm any Firestone civilian intentionally. Is this true?
We did not go in with a war plan of targeting a single civilian, and as far as I know, we didn't harm any.
Okay.
Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we actually have recently received an image, leaked photo from what appears to be Ridgeway officials firing on a. Oh, it's a video. My apologies.
Allegedly.
It's a video.
Play it.
Oh.
I'm eager to see.
This
was on our territory.
I would love to speak on that, actually. That right there is a Firestone National Guard combatant who invaded the National Guard base.
But you were saying you didn't fire on any Firestone civilians or anything like that intentionally.
That is not a civilian. That is a combatant.
Okay, but you executed him. Point blank.
What?
That's a combatant. That's a combatant right there. You can clearly see he's in the Firestone National Guard uniform.
I'd like to just point out as well that we did not finalize any kind of rules of engagement. So, I mean, technically, if you want to look at it from a legal perspective, there was no rules.
Okay, I have one more question for the governor.
Okay,
would
one
you
more
like
question,
to
and then we're gonna
clarify?
move to the
Would you like to clarify the Ridgeway Senate's actions, as they are literally a part of the militia that killed the Firestone governor and caused this massive war?
Just to be honest, do you know how many times I've been killed in Ridgeway by people claiming that they were part of FNG? It's more than 10, and I don't understand this whole thing from people where they go full offensive because they think that somehow we as a community are able to control everything that everyone does all the time. We're not. It's never going to happen.
Okay.
So the militia was a spirited effort on the part of one of our state legislators that felt
just for this everyone on the stream.
I could talk a lot about that, but I don't have to.
If you had a chance to change your wording, would you still say that it was so much fun for the people of Ridgeway? Would you still say that?
Yeah,
I think so. I think it was fun for Firestone too. Now, to be clear about it, though, there were hardships. A lot. Because this was super risky for everybody, right? I mean, when was the last time Firestone went to wars? Has it been more than 2 years? So
I mean, there's people that lost a lot of property due to this war. There was a lot of violence.
Well, you know what? Property destruction is the American way.
The crime went around Ridgeway as soon as the war went on. It was not even just the National Guard; it was the criminals that went around looting.
Well, then it's time for us to increase our police presence.
All right. well, I'll leave it to the people
All
to
right.
decide. But that's all. For
I am running for re-election in 1 week, 2 weeks. I don't remember. One of those, and then people will have the chance to decide if they think I did a good job during this whole thing or not.
In American history, I'm pretty sure if there was ever a war, the president never came back. But good luck.
Thank you. Oh man.
Z-Cox!
All right.
I've got
we're
a
gonna
history
move
with
on
my
to
boy
the floor.
Z-Cock.
All right, Zcac is on the phone. How are you, mate?
Hi, Zcac.
How you doing, man?
What's up, guys? What's up, guys?
Hey, it's been a long time since the Ridgeway State Police, huh?
It has. I got
It's a
fired.
former
since,
militant
that's
of mine.
Okay. So I got some questions for you guys.
What's up?
All right. So last time I was up here, I asked a question, but I got censored. Is there any way we could go back to that?
I'd like to. That was our little guy behind the camera. Stanley was just he just loves to censor the people, and I'd like to apologize on his behalf for that.
Black
It was
people are always
horrible
getting
thing to
censored. This is a bad problem, man.
Yeah, 100%.
So can we go
I'm
back to that
cold.
question, Mr. Major General?
Yeah, you want to restate it just for the audience?
Yeah. I got you. My question was, I've been watching the news a lot recently. There's a big time. We should be coming together, but instead on the news, I'm seeing these innocent black brothers being pummeled on the street.
Mhm.
So I just want to know, what's the reason for this? Why are you putting down these black men?
We didn't target any black men. Matter of fact, the National Guard has a very diverse staff. We have actually a black lieutenant colonel. Shout out to my boy, Dami is okay. Just everyone, shout out to my boy, Dami is okay.
Do you mean Domdullah Ainsley, of course?
Yep, previously known as Domdullah Ainsley. Shout out. But we didn't target any. Yeah, he is. Yep. We didn't target any black people.
Since Brandon Love was a damn major general.
Whoa. Shout out to my boy Brandon for one. He's also my boy. But Dami's black and he's lieutenant colonel, so shout out to him. He's also an E-dater. I need to make that known. He E-dates.
Yeah, that's true. That's an unfortunate truth. He rides around in Ridgeway with e-girls, just saying.
That's in the news now. Dom, I know you're watching.
That is the news. We have seen Lieutenant Colonel Domi is okay in his car driving around Ridgeway with e-girls many times.
Okay, all right. I hate to interrupt. Great conversation you guys are having, but we do have many callers on the line.
I have another question. Don't worry. So this is a bit of a personal question. I personally resonate with it. As a former Ridgeway State Police trooper, you used to be RSP command, Mr. Governor, right?
I did. Yes, I was a captain.
So why is there so much discrimination in the RSP?
I don't believe there is.
I was fired. I was told I was faking a down concussion.
I don't remember why you were fired.
I think this because I was black.
I can assure you it wasn't.
I think you guys are.
I don't remember.
Fucking racist.
I didn't actually remember that you got fired. To be honest.
No. Because I think you guys.
You were class 1 back in the day, weren't you?
What?
I think you were class 1 with me back in the day. Yeah, I don't remember why you got fired. I wish I did.
Why does it say call from the hood? What the hell? What the fuck is
Call
going
from
on here?
All right, Zcac, thank you so much for joining
Stanley.
us, mate. Great questions you had there.
No, what
Yeah, I'm
the
gonna go on planet call now. Thanks for
What the
calling.
fuck is wrong with you guys?
Hey, man, brother.
I'm sick and tired of this fucking racial discrimination.
We actually did, just as a side note before we move on to the next one, we actually did consider calling this, the Firestone governor and I, and Ghost, actually, the governor of Mayflower, we talked about calling it, World War I or something, because there was a time when we thought that Mayflower was going to get involved. Mayflower's legislature isn't too keen on it, but we thought that was going to happen at some point. So we were thinking of, World War I, World War II, we were going to do, I don't know.
And that's ridiculous.
Oh, that's
Yes.
very interesting. All right, guys. I had a good talk with you guys. Big dick nigga out.
Nice to talk to you, man.
Thank you.
Call from the hood.
I
How do we get
apologize.
How do we get cool dude now?
Zcac for whichever person in the back put that as the caller.
I want to say, I think there's a KKK member standing behind you guys.
Oh,
For the call.
Let him be there. Let him be there.
No!
Okay, I think we need to take another caller.
Wolf Dude is next.
That way.
Wolf Dude's next for the call.
Okay.
Does someone have a gun? At this point, I'm
Somebody
willing.
move
I'm
Wolf
willing.
Dude to telephone.
I'm willing to risk it. Okay.
How do those
Is
people
someone
get up there?
Unicorn.
Oh, sweet. If
Why are
someone
we
could just-
mentioning this?
JFK
Okay, let's move
sniper,
this
that'd
next
be great.
caller in.
Yeah, my apologies
Family.
to ZCAC for whichever editor in the back decided to put that as the caller location. Definitely don't know who could have done that.
I think it was
but
just a
I
little,
would
like,
say
a
it's
little
just-
mix
That's
up.
right.
No, it was just a
let's
little
go
mix
next
up with
caller
the.
in.
Alright, Wolf got served from here.
All right, we've got Mr. Cool Dude Sub in here. How you going, mate?
Yo, what's good, y'all, bro? Listen, I was listening to the last caller, Mr. Zayak, right? Yeah, so I like how y'all are saying that there was no racial discrimination on Ridgeway's behalf, but I have leaked messages from a former governor of Firestone who is standing up for his people, and he is claiming
Overall.
that because he was executed, he said that he was executed because he was too dark. I have screenshots right here. They literally called him dark chocolate and then popped the cap in his head. How are you gonna tell me that y'all are not just out there killing black people? Like, cause as a black man, like I ain't trying to like I would hate for my community to be disrespected like that. Like, what do you think I am, bro? Like, what do you have to say for yourself, bro? Like, this is some bullshit. It's like, not only are you lying to the people of Mayflower and Ridgeway, but you're saying it's okay to discriminate people because they look like dark chocolate. Like, what's wrong with white chocolate, bro? What's wrong with dark chocolate? Like, they're equal. But like in my personal opinion, like, I would take a dark chocolate piece.
Can I budge in real quick?
Sure. All right, we got Arcam on the mic.
To refute whoever said that, to take it out of race, I don't know a lot of people that like dark chocolate, so that was just a horrible analogy to give. Okay.
Oh my lord.
Whoa,
Holy shit.
Niggas, what did you just say to me? What did you just say to me,
All
nigga?
right.
Who the fuck do you think I am, bro?
All right.
All right. My apologies for that.
I just want to be clear about we're not racists, okay? There's a lot of people that say a lot of things, but we're not racists, all right? Like for anybody that actually is listening and really does, we're not actually racists, all right? We're not.
And all right, hello, Wolf Dude, you're on the mic. Thank you so much for joining. But just one sec before you say anything, we've now, instead of a member of the 333, we've now got Osama bin Laden up on our windowsill right now. As if we had a conversation of war.
Is it ammo
As if,
packs?
I think
Let
it
us
is.
know if the Ridgeway National Guard needs to come give their support in the war on terror against Osama bin Laden. Just let us know.
Well, I mean, hey, since it's the discussion of war, I guess it's on topic. Mr. Wolf, would you like to give any questions to Governor of the Ridgeway Governor?
You know, it's just this guy is.
Which guy?
I just don't like the Osama bin Laden. Just bringing that up. Like, do you think that someone's gonna do such a bad terrorist attack on Mayflower? Is that possible since this war is going on?
Well, I would say that if Mayflower ever were to suffer any kind of such a terrorist attack, we would be right by their side and we would attack, we would defend against whoever. We are great friends of Mayflower and we always will be.
We'd never forget
So
something
how would
that happened to
be
McDougal
possible?
Tower.
Would they be accepted into the M&G group or something?
Nothing. We will protect McDougal Tower with our lives and you should all know it.
With just being on the citizen team?
Yes.
That wouldn't really be much of a help.
I don't know, man. Go
We're
tell
pretty
it to
capable.
Firestone.
But thank you so
war is
much
actually
even for
breaking out.
trying, you know? I'm
like
just
there's
concerned
wars on the
as
streets
a
of
citizen
Lander.
Mayflower, I'm really concerned that, you know, that if a terrorist attack were to happen, sometimes I feel like M&G wouldn't just be enough. And I think that there should be like something where alliances should have like permission.
Well, we don't have a formal alliance with Mayflower. We don't have a formal alliance with Mayflower, but trust me when I tell you that your commander-in-chief knows that we will have his back.
Well, that's always good to have.
but
I would like to touch on the fact as well regarding terrorists. Oh, sorry, did Osama bin Laden blow up? Is that what I'm hearing outside?
Somebody clip that. Just
Oh, they're still going at it.
You get up from your desk and you walk back there and you look out the
I
window.
believe there's a terrorist.
Sorry, did a
Hey,
Osama
it's
bin Laden blow
it's
up?
not.
Taking over
it's
the
inside. Never mind. The art of the
Whoa,
sneak riding.
why?
Wow.
What's going on in the
Why
studio
is
right now?
Tommy here?
We're being raided.
We're getting taken over by terrorist
Hey,
militants.
We're talking about war, so I think this is definitely not out of the question to have him in the room with us. The Cummings and
Did he
Later will
glitch in or
continue.
what?
I actually don't know. I wasn't watching.
We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah, I'd like to just comment on the whole terrorist attack thing in Mayflower. In 2018, when the
I
what was
had
it, the
one more
triple-
question. I had one more.
Okay, we'll see your question then. Yeah.
I think we
Yes.
got baited.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, new caller.
All right, time is up. It appears.
Yeah.
I'd just like to talk about regarding terrorist attacks in Mayflower back in October 2018 when the FEF took over Plymouth. I'd like to say the sheriff's office did quite a good job at protecting the area, and this was just, by the way, one sheriff officer who managed to evacuate most of the civilians out of Plymouth when it was happening, and to call for more backup when he was the only person online. I'd like to think that our police departments and our National Guard are very ready in case something like that happens. They're very on board. They're very alert because stuff like this can happen. So I'd like to just praise the police departments and National Guard for all the stuff they've done in the last few years. And now I've got Osama bin Laden pretty much asking for the mic now, so I'm going to give it to Mr. OBL, and he'll give us some stuff. Many people were involved in the McDougal bombing. Which McDougal bombing? See, that's even sad to say. Which one?
It is sad to say.
Oh, there he goes. He's
Oh,
now getting
Osama
taken
bin
out.
Laden's been arrested.
Tom, you should not be attacking him. Tom. All right, let's move on to our next caller then, shall
No,
we?
it's
We got
fine.
this,
It's fine. He's doing us a service.
Yeah, he's doing us service. We got Bizarre Ashen on the mic. How you going, sir?
Oh, do you guys
Hello.
have you guys heard the Fears Door Master putting children in his basement?
All right, thank you for the call, Bizarre Ashton. I feel like I've heard that guy's voice before too. So. No, Stan. See, okay, this
Hear
is
him
the
out.
thing I
Hear
don't
him
like
out.
about
Hear
this
him
show. Stan likes to bring the callers back in for more controversy on the television show.
As he should.
Come
as
on
he
now,
should.
Stan. Come on now, Stan.
Hold on,
Oh.
hold on, hold the phone. So is it true that so have you guys heard about the theory about Fedora leaving children trapped in his basement?
I just want to say I actually have heard about this theory.
Yeah.
According to some intelligence, there was an allegation that accounts under the age of 13 that joined Firestone would be teleported to a basement, and that's quite concerning to me. I was honestly scared for my troops. That was one of the most terrifying things I heard going into that Firestone invasion. That they were just going to get kidnapped.
If you keep spreading that, you are going to go back to war with Firestone in like 24 hours. So just
I'm
careful
just
with what you
saying.
say.
It was in the game, not in real life. All right, I would never spread slander like that. It's just what I heard. Just
Okay.
what I heard.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the call, Bizarre Ashton.
I
We've
hate
got quite a
black
few people to
people.
get
I
through
hate
to.
black people. I hate black
Oh,
people.
well, that's
Okay.
great. That is great. That's so good.
You know what? You know what?
That
I
is
think
not
I think
valid. That's
it's we're not
racist.
supporting his opinion, but we're just giving him a platform to share them. That's all it is.
And that is the okay. I hope Stan's mic is accidentally on at this point because I want the people of Mayflower to hear the stuff he is
No, because
saying.
he just said
Back
that was
today,
valid. He just said word for word that was valid. But you know what?
You know, I hope Stan gets cancelled at this point. Honestly, he said too much out of pocket stuff behind the stage that should be heard. All right, let's move on to our next caller and forget any of that happened. We've got who have we got now? We've got Colton on now. How you going?
I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hi, Earth the Colton.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Mike's working. How are you? You got any questions for the governor?
Hello. I was just wondering what you guys think about like the war. Oh, the governor?
Well, I don't mean to. I don't mean to laugh at your.
Well, no, the news station has just been shot up.
Oh my god!
I don't mean to laugh at. It looks like Chum is dead. We thank him for his
cut the
service to
camera,
the
dog.
state of Mayflower and to the interstate news.
Is everything okay at the news station?
No!
It seems that we've had some deaths. and,
Sorry.
Everything is not okay at the station, but I would like to congratulate the sheriff's office for cuffing the dude that was shooting at us instead of just shooting him dead. Kind of like the Ridgeway people for that Firestone guy.
That's a crazy
it's war. All right?
Didn't you kill Rylan? Oh, kind of like the black
like
people.
4 times, yeah.
Why?
What the hell is the deal behind with that? Just
Oh man, oh man. It has been quite an evening here. We're going to quickly get through the rest of these callers, and I think we might wrap it up for this evening.
Yeah.
It's been quite a chat. I will be honest. It's quite fascinating hearing all these sides of the story. All right, this guy's taking my seat. I guess I'm standing for the rest of this.
okay. For those of you that were part of the Mayflower beforehand, it's kind of like the good old days all over again. We're coming back to that. I like it. We're getting going.
Take, I'll be honest.
Stretch, but
It's quite a hot take, but you know what? We'll let it slide. Thank you for your call, Colin. Let's move on to the next question now.
Sorry.
We have got Lakeland on the phone. How are you?
Oh.
If you guys don't know who Lakeland is, you are going
Can we
to
get
have
this guy
the
off?
best experience of your life for the next few minutes. But he is muted. Oh, never mind. He's here.
No,
Hello, Lakeland. How are you?
Okay.
Yes,
So
it is
I have
on.
a
How
few
are you?
questions. I'm assuming it's the Ridgeway governor on the air, right?
Hello. Yes.
I'm calling in from Lander. I got I'm an employee. In the
You're
Lander
calling in
Police
from
Department.
Lander. What phone are you on?
And all that. Regarding the war, I just gotta say, why do you need Mayflower support? Is it true that McDougal is behind the fucking bombings in Lander, and that this was a false flag attack that you're making it seem like Firestone's attacked us, but in actuality, the bombs were sent by McDougal and Ridgeway and the FBI?
Well, I will say that's a hell of a theory.
Good God-fearing Landarians to go and die in Firestone and shed blood for the Ridgeway financial elites.
Did you know there's also lizards in the Lander sewers there,
Yeah.
Lakeland?
I was there. I was there when they hit the McDougal Towers. I was there at Ground Zero when the bombing struck and Officer Turntable was killed in the Lander bombings. And
Officer Turntable, a national hero.
Those did not look like Firestone bombs. Those look like SBI and Ridgeway bombs. I gotta say, you're asking Landarians.
Honestly, how can one tell the difference?
No Firestonian ever call me Lander trash. I'm just saying.
To be honest, I'm not totally sure how to unpack all of that. But
I said it before, and I'll say it again. I feel like I genuinely lose brain cells on this show, genuinely. And I'd like to ask, you said you were. Yeah, you can just feel those brain cells just kind of killing themselves. And I'd like to say this as well. Like when you said you're calling from Lander, but you seriously sound like you're calling from a mobile telephone booth in the middle of Pakistan. I can't hear.
Yeah, it sounds like he's coming from turntable or something.
Telephone booth because I can't call from my home in the McDougal apartments because the FBI wiretapped my phone.
Okay.
Well, I wonder why they did that then.
I don't know why that sounds like a personally.
I will not
why.
confirm or deny that.
I'm just.
All right, thank you for your call, Lakeland. I'm gonna.
There. Firestone never attacked us, bro. It's the FBI who was bombing McDougal. It was the McDougal signs all along. The McDougal financial elite telling Mayflowerians that they need to die in Firestone.
The deep state.
Oh, it appears his telephone time ran out. That's unfortunate. I'd just like to make it clear again.
Oh my
that,
God, Chum, you're awesome.
Callers, maybe. I'd just
are.
like to remind everyone that these calls do not represent the views of M-Span or any roast band department.
Except for Stanley, it
This is
definitely represents Stanley.
Except for Stanley, because he's in the back.
Except for good old Stan. Except for good old
But other than Stanley Labson in the back, it's just the callers, and we get the bad ones, we get the good ones, we get the really ugly ones, like we've just heard. But you know what? It's just part of life, and we just have to go through it every single time. All right, we're gonna give Gapsnap another chance at calling us because he did have himself muted last time, and he's still muted. So we're gonna drag him back into the hold line while we get Mr.
Give him
Old
another
New Head and
shot.
Johnny Grandma on. How you going, Grandma?
Hello, can you hear me?
Granny. Yeah.
I can hear you. I can hear you very well. You are way too close to the
Yeah,
receiver.
Grandma.
Hold on. Guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're way too close to the receiver. You got any questions for the governor of Ridgeway?
Hold on. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, thanks for calling.
Yes. Granny, we got you loud and clear.
I think Grandma got dementia, bro.
I think they disconnected him already.
All right,
Oh,
Grandma, you are all good. You can ask any question you'd like. Please just ask a question already.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
I mean, he did ask a question.
Yeah.
Can we bring him back up? He did ask a question.
He's playing the
True.
part.
Bring him
all
back
right,
up.
Grandma, this is your final chance. Can you please ask a question to the?
No, we can hear you, by the way.
We can hear you, by the way,
Okay.
just to be clear.
Okay. So first question: how many units were deployed for the war?
That's a question best answered by the head of the National Guard, who is also in the
Yeah.
voice chat.
I got that. So by units, you mean like how many personnel were deployed, or just like what units were deployed?
How many personnel?
Okay, so we probably deployed around 70 units to Firestone. 70 to 100 is my exact guess. That's like 70 to 100.
Okay.
If it
And
answers your
another
question, we fit like
how many-
130 people into their servers. So
Sorry, I hate to interrupt you too. I just got
Another
a message sent to me saying that ISIS is behind me, and I guess they're talking about this guy at the window here. So let's see. How have we gone tonight? We've had a member of the Triple. We've had Osama
Yes.
bin Laden.
We have Osama bin
Check.
Laden.
We have ISIS.
Honorable mention. We had
Klansmen.
turntable. We had turntable as well. Honorable mention, but
We also had the
Space
Ridgeway
Station.
Deep State.
The Klansman. Don't forget him.
That's right.
we didn't
that's the
forget him.
triple threes.
That's the triple
Nope,
three.
he
I'm
has
not
been mentioned
saying
twice.
it.
KKK?
And I think
Yeah.
Grandma had one
They're
more
coming for
question.
you, Kyle.
All right, sorry,
They're
Grandma.
coming for
we'll
you,
come back
Reston. They're gonna hang you.
You need to stop,
Grandma.
Turn.
Sorry.
You gotta
Okay.
stop terrorizing
So-
your black employees, dude.
Anyways,
I have one more
Granny,
question.
you got another question? Go ahead.
All right, fire
Yeah.
away, please. Just for the love of it. Just say it.
How many lives were lost within this war?
That is actually a very good question. That's not really a number we took, but at least 50.
Oh, okay, well,
At least.
Okay.
I was predicting
least
less, but I
50.
mean,
Well, it was pretty bloody throughout the siege of the Firestone capital, so I will say that
Yeah.
much.
yeah, we'll be sure to play that clip again at the very end of the episode just to reiterate what we're talking about. Thank you, Grandma, for joining us. Hope you sleep well tonight. Make sure to take your sleeping meds. All right, we've got one more person coming in now. We've got.
I like how
Ryan
you just
and
disconnect them. You're just like done. I love
Oh,
that.
no.
They had their time.
No, yeah,
They
like
ran
Mike
out.
said, they had their time.
I love it.
And you know
This is
what?
awesome. You guys do this all the time?
Yeah.
Quite
It was
often,
been a
yes.
while, but like, yeah.
Every once in a while.
This is fantastic.
That's
I
great to
love
hear.
this.
Well,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
know, right?
There you go. See, we've got our like we can take that voice clip now and promote M-Span even more. We've got Rome. Oh no, the person that was
Already
on the
gone.
telephone actually disconnected themselves, so that's a first. That was not me. Apparently, we took way too long. We're gonna try Gatch Snap one more time. Is he gonna unmute his mic? I wonder. Let's
Oh,
give
he
him
just sent a
10
voice
seconds.
message in the text channel.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. All right, no word from him then.
We have Stixa.
Bring six up.
Again. All right, I
Yeah?
guess we can finish off with Stixer then.
Can we bring Lakeland again? He has something to say.
No, he
All
doesn't.
right, Stixer. Stixer's also muted. Oh, he's back.
Okay. All right. I had a question for the governor.
Hi, Stick. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Hope you're doing well. As you know, you might know, I reside in Sterling, which, you know, it's been named, you know, it's a violent place, and I can't really count the number of times I've been there, and you know, it's just a violent place. So, you know, the war kind of advances that some more. You know, it gets a little more violent than it already was. So, here's my question: do you think that this war, or this attack or whatever, because do you think that it serves as a message to bolster Second Amendment rights inside the home? Because I need to remind you this, that when enemy forces were descending onto my roof earlier, I had to quiver in fear because there's a law in your state, and it allows police officers to come into your home and declare it a firearm-free zone and strip you of your weapons. So I was in fear of having a weapon on my property, and I had no weapons to defend myself. I was killed multiple times, by the way.
Stan.
Staying in the booth again.
Stick. I didn't even stick. Honestly, I didn't even know that. To be completely honest with you. But well, to be clear, I didn't know. I didn't. I'm not. I didn't realize. I mean, assuming that's true, because I know that you're always litigating something. But assuming that's true, we should probably fix it.
Well, we're trying, but you're standing in our way again. So, it's just one of those things.
To be clear, for those listening, you thus far have not contacted me about this.
I absolutely did not. You are lying.
You have not.
This is
so,
because Mr. Tortellini, Solicitor General Tortellini, he knew this information, and you were supposed to communicate with him, and you have not.
If you expect legislative action, you don't go to the Justice Department.
You absolutely do. No, we're in the court.
No, you don't.
Hey, friends. Friends, listen. Great chat between you two. I don't think this is the type that should be recorded on my live stream, though.
Oh, I like this. I love this.
Stick. I think you're right. But this is just the first I've heard of it.
No, it's not. You're lying. You're just trying to. You put it on a poker face.
Hey, watch your tongue.
The gaslighting. On air.
Gaslighting is immense. Only on Atlanta Journal.
Although
gaslighting isn't real, for the record.
That's true.
Not real.
You're just crazy. You're crazy if you think it is.
Crazy? I was crazy once.
Oh my!
I was crazy once.
I do like your name for Totoro, though. I'm gonna start calling him Tortellini.
It's Tortellini, and you had no contact.
Tortellini.
That was intentional.
I haven't talked. No, I haven't. I haven't heard about this from him. I haven't. I haven't heard about this from him. I haven't heard about. Well, if you think I'm lying, then there's nothing else. Then there's nothing else for us to talk about. Because if I'm not telling the truth, if I'm not telling the truth, then what the hell's the point? You gonna listen or not?
You are the point. We're making a point out of you.
We should fix it. Let's fix it. I didn't know that this was a thing. I didn't.
We're trying to fix it. No, we're trying to fix it. That's what you don't understand. But
I've heard. Are you?
And he works
hey,
for you.
Are you suing? Are you suing the Attorney General again?
Yes. Yes.
I thought you were. Good. Interesting. Okay.
Yes. So you don't read it.
I found out about that. I found out about that this morning. I didn't read any of the cases, but I saw it when I was scrolling through the Superior Court, Trello.
And to our viewers, I don't know when this exactly turned into a Dr. Phil episode, but apparently we're here.
Yeah, that's what we're talking. Because this is internal. This is entirely internal to Ridgeway. This conversation, just to say. But
pick up the book.
Stick. Okay.
Pick up.
Let me just. I understand the. Okay. Here's the thing. I understand the the gaslighting and everything, and it's great fun. But boiling all of that down to the seriousness of the conversation, just to make it a point for people that actually do care about this kind of thing. And whether or not it's a real thing and whether or not we should actually do something about it. Number one, I didn't know that was a thing. I really didn't. And you can believe it or not, but that's the way it's true. So I think we need to fix it. Now,
okay.
When you say that you've gone to the Justice Department and told them that we need to have legislative action, you're shooting yourselves in the foot and you know it.
No. We did not.
No.
That's not true.
You didn't come to the legislative. You didn't come to the legislature. You didn't come to the executive branch. Instead, you go to the DOJ, who, by the way, doesn't work for me.
No. We went to the judiciary.
Yes.
We went to the judiciary. That is a whole separate branch. And I will tell you this right now, sweetie. We're not.
The judiciary can't make laws or change them. The judiciary can't make laws or change them. They can only interpret the ones that already exist.
Okay, but they
No,
Guys, if we if we made a Dr. Phil series, would you guys appear on it? Because I feel
Here's
like
what we need. We just have to have the
man.
Yeah, you
This is
guys.
ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
We need to fix
Okay,
it. We do.
You need couples counseling,
I want
but
to
it's
know
not
more
streamed
about
on the
this.
YouTube.
I want to. No. Stick. Take a minute and just tell me about this law because I don't know about it. I want.
Can you guys do your divorce proceedings in DMs, please?
Yeah, you guys need to take this somewhere else. Okay, we got other callers.
Got it.
We have other callers desperately waiting.
For the love of
other people.
Dixon, thank
Okay.
you for your time today, but
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. Stick, get him out
I
of here.
love you,
All right.
Stick.
Just
We
once
need
again,
Lakeland up here.
once again, M-Span doing what it does best, reporting on stuff that has nothing to do with us. And he's the guy from Pakistan calling again.
I'm calling in from a portable phone in downtown Lander, and I'm also texting in a.
Yeah, it says like it's raining. Look outside, it's sparkly clean.
SBI is still listening, by the way.
Dude, SBI controls the weather.
From ground
Yes,
zero.
we
at
do.
the McDougal bombing. At the McDougal bombings. I want this photo on screen.
Oh, wait,
now.
what?
This is from ground zero. When they hit the towers at the McDougal Plaza.
Never
Oh,
forget.
Ground zero
Never forget.
bombing.
You'll never forget. Call from Pakistan.
Wait, Stan,
I was
can you
there.
play
I
the
was
can you
there.
play the
The
MPVS
officer
video?
turntable was hit by Ridgeway bombs.
The tribute?
The McDougal
Officer
sign are trying to make
turntable.
you believe
A national
that these bombs are from
hero.
Firestone, but they were Ridgeway bombs.
We have never launched Ridgeway bombs towards Mayflower.
We've
No,
only
they
ever
didn't.
allegedly.
No, don't bring that up, Larch. No need.
All right.
No
I
need.
apologize.
No need for that.
False flag attack. It's a false flag attack. The McDougal
That's
elite
redacted
wanted
information.
to die selling Firestones to fund the Ridgeway war machine.
No, it appears his telephone.
Who disconnected it? That's censorship.
It appears
It's
his
fine, that's what we
telephone's
do
coming out
best.
again. And just to make
This
things
is,
better for the window appearances, we now have Pablo Escobar, a McDougal security officer, and a woman in the Mayflower State Police. So I mean, it just gets crazier, folks.
A woman?
Where?
A woman.
Yo, hey,
Blickety?
Blickety.
John Pork.
Yup.
Can we get like three callers at one time?
Can we finish
Yeah.
this episode?
Our free
We'll
call.
do it in here, yeah.
Dude, we're pushing 2
All
o'clock
right,
in the morning.
yeah, you know what,
here, all right?
we are doing a free for all now. We've got 4 callers on the one line.
Following me in unmarked
Uh-oh.
conveyors, trying to kill me
What
for
was that?
exposing the truth
Now
of
listen.
the cover-up. Exposing the
Alright,
truth
my bad.
with the Ridgeway missiles hitting the McDougal towers. They're trying to tell us that these bombs came from Firestone, but they're actually made by Ridgeway and launched from
Lakeland,
Ridgeway.
watch out, buddy. The lizard people are coming for you for the Lander sewers. Watch out, bud.
I have a question.
I'm gonna blow up another
man.
car at Lander, man. I'm on Bin Laden right now. I'm gonna blow it up again.
Call from the world.
What?
Osama bin Laden's on the line.
Oh.
Black people.
Okay.
Are targeting black people? Mr. Producer,
They're
please
coming
tell
for
the
you,
truth.
Rustin.
The people deserve to know the truth.
I'm done. I'm done with this freaking
Why do we have
show.
the Mori cam? The Mori cam following Chum because you are not the father.
Damn.
Get away from me! Get away!
Ridgeway killed Officer Turntable. Officer Turntable is
Yeah,
dead
damn.
because you
It
guys
is-
are evil. Ridgeway is
Damn,
evil.
damn,
Ah!
damn.
Oh!
They'll just got
The news, the cameraman's been cuffed. Free up the cameraman.
Because of you people.
There's extreme turmoil in Lander territory.
You'll never have him back again.
Gun down like Jews at Auschwitz, man. Gun down like Jews at Auschwitz.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's enough, I think.
I
Yeah,
think that's a
that's
good-
great
we have
place
some
to
good
end it off.
calls.
We'd like to
Kadir,
thank,
Kadir.
We
We
crossed
had
the
some
line
good
in
calls,
Nazi.
but
Whoa.
Hey, what
Major
is that woman
General.
wearing?
Major
No!
General Bobazinga.
Whoa.
Wait, Stan, stay there. Stan, stay there. I'm coming. Stay right there. We're
Chum's
interviewing
been
this lady.
distracted.
you're what, Chum? You're
Public
what?
indecency. Shut
Get
up.
the
Is that
angles
fucking
right.
Jessica?
Cameraman,
you
get
are
the angles
still on
right.
camera. Why are you trying to hook up with a stripper?
Right, Stan, set up the camera, please. I'm coming. I'm right behind you.
It's like a Vice documentary.
On the street interview. We're doing Eric Andre on here. All right, here we go. So we have a lady here who. Okay.
Oh my god.
We'd like to thank the governor of Ridgeway for joining us today.
I'd like to thank the driver of that car.
Oh my!
Jessica, dumb slut. Oh boy.
Oh no!
We'd like to thank the Ridgeway guy for joining us, Mo Bazinga, whatever his name is. We'd like to thank. I'd like to thank Zyx for joining me today because this could not have happened without him. And of course, everyone else that's in the call right now. Arkham. We've got Cookie, the concerned citizen. I don't know how he feels. about everything that's happened today.
I feel
but
great.
I don't think M-Span's losing any viewers anytime soon, so that's good for us. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Lander Journal, and we're probably going to get taken off the air after this one. I'll be surprised if we come back for another episode. But yeah, thank you so much.
Jessica's
for watching,
being
Jessica's gonna. Okay. Jessica's
Alright,
gonna.
that's
Yeah,
enough.
okay.
That's enough. Cut the fucking count.